Hey everyone, sorry about that. Having weird issues. Normally I can schedule the live and then it'll show up on my phone as being scheduled and I can go to it. For some reason tonight it just was not going to my phone, and that's what I was trying to get it to do, is go to my phone so I can go live from my phone. But it just would not do that tonight. And I wanted to be outside walking around, and unfortunately now I can't. So I'm stuck here inside. Give me 1 second here if you don't mind again. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for joining. It is big changes have happened here on the homestead recently. And well, first I want to thank everyone who's joined my channel recently. I've had a lot of growth over the last week or so. It was unexpected, but I'm very grateful for everyone who's started following me and subscribed to my channel. So thank you very much. I am Bill. I'm building a homestead by myself, basically, from Alaska, from some property I bought in Alaska. And just trying to do it all cash in hand, like cash out of pocket, no loans or anything like that. So it's going to take me several years to get a homestead up and running, but that's my goal, to get it up and running. But yeah, I'm so disappointed. For some reason, I think maybe because I scheduled the live only like a half hour ago or so. I wasn't planning on going live because I thought some construction workers were still going to be here, but they left in time, and then I was going to do it tomorrow night since Rob's not doing his live tomorrow night. I was going to basically jump in his time slot for one night. But then I decided, what the heck, I'll just go live tonight. I scheduled the live, and for some reason it was not updating on my phone. And I tried everything. I even rebooted my phone just a few seconds ago, and it still wasn't updating. So I don't know what's going on, but it is what it is. And I'm here now. So thanks everyone for joining. Let's see here. We got Rob in the house. He's up at the Curmudgeon, AK. John in Alaska is here. Carrie Leonard, hello. I don't recognize you, so I'm thinking this might be your first time here. So thank you very much. Sandra Madrano, the Oklahoma Grammy, is here. Thank you, and thank you for posting those links. Let's see here. Annette Witt is here. Thank you, Annette. Another, I believe, new person that I don't remember seeing before, but thank you. And if you guys are new, please let me know. Renice Shulin, I believe that's how you spell your name. And I think I recognize you from possibly last week or week before last, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, you're new also? Okay. I thought I recognized your name from like a week or two ago, but well, thank you for joining. It's very appreciated. And I believe I know Reeve. If I'm not mistaken, he's the worst half of he says I'm old but new account. Ha ha ha. He's the worst half of Flat Tire Farm, Homesteading, Alaska, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, his wife is the better half. Hey, I gotta say the woman is always the better half. Don't cut on me too bad now, or don't hate on me, I guess. Hey, Carrie Leonard says she's from Toronto. Well, thank you for joining. Okay, Renice, she said she just subbed a few weeks ago. Well, thank you for subbing, and I hope you enjoy my content. And maybe that's where I recently seen you from. Is you left a comment on one of my videos? I believe that's must have been where I seen you recently. And Carrie Leonard, thanks joining tonight since you're new. Also, if you guys have any questions for me, feel free to ask. I'm an open book. There's very few things that I won't talk about. So feel free to ask anything you want to know, any questions you have that I didn't cover in my videos or anything like that. Definitely, since you're new here, a lot of other Alaskan channels often join my lives. So please check them out also while you're here. Most of them are on the homesteading and Alaska lifestyle type channels, so definitely check them out. Let's see here. Well, two things I wanted to show you guys, but unfortunately I can't, is the cabin here has a metal roof on it now. It's a nice green metal roof. That's the construction guys that were here. I know how to put metal roofs on, but the steepness of this roof and combine that with I don't have the proper gear to be able to put the metal roof on safely. It was just a better choice to hire it out, and I hired it out to Riser Contracting. They are a contracting construction company here in the South Central Alaska. So if you're in this area and need something done, definitely look them up. And they do remote also if you have a remote cabin or anything like that. He said I think Monday morning, I believe he said they're meeting at the float plane place right here in Willow, and they're going to be flying out to a remote cabin somewhere to do some work. So they do really good work and at reasonable price. So the roof is green, and it's a steel roofing. So I don't have to worry about the weather and stuff on this roof. That's for sure. Hey, our cabin in the woods just joined. Thanks for joining. Oh yeah, last weekend we had the first annual Alaska YouTubers, YouTube creators meetup. It went very well. We had 17 channels. I just put out my video for it a couple days ago. So if you haven't seen it, please, after the live, go and check that out. And also in the description of the video, I have all the channels that were there listed there. So definitely check out all those channels. The meetup was in an area just north of Wasilla called Meadow Lakes. And we had, I believe, 17 or 18 channels show up and a handful of subscribers. And we even had one channel from Pennsylvania. They were up here finding out how to live totally off grid and things like that. And the other aspect of it was they wanted to see if Alaska was a possible future home for them. So they were up here all summer. I heard about it. I sent them a couple emails, and it just worked out that they were passing through the Palmer-Wasilla area, headed back to Pennsylvania last weekend. So they took a couple-hour detour and came up to the meetup and hung out for an hour or two, and then they had to get on their way. And that channel was Homestead, the only channel I interviewed there. And but everyone had a great time. Everyone's saying they can't wait till next year, so we're definitely going to do another one next year. Renice, yes, I do the wiring myself. I've grown up around construction. Excuse me. I've grown up around construction, so I know. And the construction I grew up around, the construction company did everything. It was a small company. There were 3 or 4 core people, and then a couple other ones that came and went. But they did everything from framing, finish work, wiring, plumbing, roofing, everything. So I definitely learned how to do everything. So I'm doing it all here. For some reason, my nose is real itchy. It feels like there's a hair or something on the end of it. But where was I? And thank you, the Oklahoma Grammy, for posting all the links. Johnny Gillum from Gillum Farms is here. Thanks for joining. Hey, I'm sorry I missed your live. It popped up on my notifications. Unfortunately, the construction crew was still here finishing up the work. They didn't get done till about 3:30 or so my time, and your live ends at 3 o'clock my time. So sorry about that I didn't get to join, but I had to be here for the construction crew. Let's see here. Everyone's saying hi to each other. Love seeing that. Hey, Flat Tire Farms, Homesteading, Alaska. The better half is here now, and that's Crystal from Flat Tire Farms. So thank you, Crystal, for joining. And I know you're still at work, so thank you for at least joining in and listening. Man, my nose, for some reason, just feels like something, like a hair is on the end of it or something. John in Alaska says, our cabin in the woods. Are you talking to me? And the curmudgeon, sorry, I've been splitting my time with lives and cleaning my mechanical building. Now that the girls are out and I have a toolbox to put the stuff in. That's good. You got to get your place organized, especially before winter, so you know where everything is. Sure, Renice, anytime. Any other questions you have? Everyone's saying hi to each other. Okay, yeah, I knew you would understand, Johnny. You were wearing my hat again. Sorry about. I wish I would have missed. I would have. Yeah, I wish I would have seen that. I've been wearing your hat occasionally, once in a while recently too, and I've been trying to work it into a few videos. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Reeve switched accounts back to Flat Tire Farms. Okay. Renice is asking, do I have 2 homes or just the cabin? I have this cabin, which is a temporary cabin, and it's sitting off to the side, and I'm going to be building my permanent home just right over here, just a few feet away from the wall of this cabin. So I have this property, and then I have a remote property about an hour and a half north of here. And I have a cabin up there, and I go up there a lot throughout the wintertime. And normally I go up a lot in the summertime also, but I've just been so busy last summer and this summer, I haven't gotten up there very much in the summertime. So I do have 2 properties. Right now I have 2 cabins, but eventually it will be 1 cabin up there and 1 home here. The Oklahoma Grammy is asking, what time is it in Alaska right now? It is 8:21 in Oklahoma. It is 5:21 here in Alaska. We are 3 hours behind you guys. Reeve Reeve has one of my hats, and he he says, "I'm afraid to wear your hat, Bill. It's the nicest hat I have." I don't know, Reeve. That Marine Corps Recon hat you have is pretty kicking. And Renee said, "No, I understand. You just subbed not too long ago, so it takes time to go back through some of the videos and get caught up on what's going on. So, like, that's kind of why I said, feel free, ask all the questions you want." Reeve at Flat Tire Farm says we should go up to my remote cabin next summer and do some gold painting. We can definitely do that. For those of you that don't know, my cabin is up in Petersville, Alaska, and when you get back in the Petersville Hills, there are places you can recreational gold pan, and people do that all winter long, or all summer long. I'm sorry, back in there. But also, right now is a good time to go blueberry picking up there. I'm sure the blueberries are out in full force up there, and it's so far up there that basically no one goes up there to pick blueberries. So there's just hillsides covered in blueberries. Is it pretty dirty? I'm not sure what you mean. Flat Tire Farm. They say it's also pretty dirty. Hey, Roberta's Artistic Adventures. Thanks for joining. Oklahoma Grammy is asking when we all get the first snowfall up here. Let's see here. The mountaintops should be getting snow. Could be within the next 2 weeks. And then sometime in around middle of September to the end of September, depending on the year and stuff, we could be waking up to snow on the ground, but it'll melt. And snow won't actually start laying here until normally middle end of October is when the snow will actually start laying on the ground for the winter time. Yeah, Rob, there are a lot of laws to follow. One of the ones that I know of is you're allowed to gold pan within a certain distance of any road bridge. So like 100 yards upstream and 100 yards downstream or something like that. So right around a bridge, you're allowed to gold pan. And then there's designated areas for recreational gold panning also. And then the rest are basically gold claims. Robert the curmudgeon says there's still the blueberries up where he's at are still tart. Let's see here. Everyone's saying hi to each other. Yeah, Renice, it is nice. We're in the process of building a nice little community up here, especially of the YouTubers. So we've been working on that, getting a few involved. So that's what we're working on, is building a nice little community. And then outside of the YouTube world, neighbors watch out for each other up here a lot, just because if you don't, it could literally be life threatening up here. Either the wintertime cold, if someone runs out of firewood, everyone like pitches in. Yeah, I have a little bit. Yeah, I can spare, and different things like that. Or like in the summertime, bears are out, different things like that. So everyone watches out for each other up here. In the Oklahoma Grammy posted another link to Roberta's Artistic Adventure. And Reeve at Flat Tire Farm says he thinks Petersville is actually the largest recreational gold prospecting area in the state. It might be. I know there are a lot of gold claims up in that area also, and around the Peters Creek. So, but I know where the recreational gold panning area is up there. So, everyone's saying hi to each other. Robert the curmudgeon says, "Shut up, Bill. No snow." I don't think it matters if I talk about it or not. It's coming. This is Alaska. And Reeve at Flat Tire Farm says, I meant that the Recon Marine hat is dirty. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I understand what you were saying now. And John in Alaska says he'll be checking the blueberries up in Hatcher Pass this Saturday. Oh, did Ashley? Oh, hey, Ashley Anderson. I skipped over you by accident. Thank you for joining. And there's Ashley Anderson's YouTube link. Everyone's saying hi to each other. Hi, Roberta. Hi, hello, Roberta. Hello, Curmudge. Reeve at Flat Tire Farm saying, hey, John, I hear Archangel Valley has tons of blueberries right now. Archangel Valley is a valley up in Hatcher Pass area. And Renee says, do you run into bears that often? Not that often, but it does happen occasionally. So you definitely got to be aware and be on the lookout and know what to do if you do run into a bear. The Oklahoma Grammy says, sounds wonderful. We are fixing to start cooking here with temps in the 110s with heat indexes between 115 and 120 for the next 3 weeks. Oh, wow. That's in the Oklahoma area. Right now, outside, it is about 70 degrees and not a cloud in the sky, pretty much. There's a couple clouds, but it's nice and sunny. So Ashley says, hi, John. Robert the curmudgeon says, blah, blah, blah is all I hear. He's referring to the snow talk. Reeve agrees with Rob. No snow yet. Hey, I got so much to do. I could go all winter without snow and it would be fine with me. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen. John's saying hi to Ashley. Hey, Michael from Not So Remote Alaska. How are you? You missed a good meetup. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for your donation to help support the meetup. It definitely went to get some good veggies for the burgers and stuff. And let's see. And if you guys haven't checked out Not So Remote Alaska, definitely check out his channel. He does a lot of frugal living and like garage and yard sale finds and repurposing stuff and things like that, and plus some sawmilling stuff. Hey, Chuck Brown or Chuck. How do you say your last name? Boney, is that correct? Chuck says it's 73 in New Jersey right now. What part of New Jersey? I used to live down in New Jersey for a while. And the Oklahoma Grammy says, Bill, bring snow when you come to the Pinecone meetup. I'm going to be down in Little Rock for a friend's wedding, first weekend in October. And the Pinecone Fest is actually the second weekend in October. So I'm just going to stay down there, live in a hotel, motel for the week, and then go to Pinecone Fest and then come back up. So that should be very interesting. I've never been to Pinecone Fest. Well, I guess this is only the second year for it, so I'm looking forward to going to Pinecone Fest this year and meeting up with some friends of mine and making some new friends. Not So Remote Alaska says, and a whole lot of nothing to go with that, and he's referring to what he does on his channel. And Renee says, seems like everyone in Alaska has a sawmill. When you're homesteading and living off grid and things like that, a sawmill is invaluable. Unfortunately, I don't have one. I would like to have one, but I don't know when I'm going to be able to get a sawmill. It's not anytime soon, that's for sure. And Chuck says he lives in Union County. I used to live down in the Cherry Hill, Moorestown area. I worked for Lockheed Martin when I lived down there. And Reeve from Flat Tire Farm says, thanks for the veggies, Not So Remote Alaska. And he's referring to the meetup. And Renice is saying hello to Flat Tire Farms, Homesteading, Alaska. And then, let's see here. Out over my yard here, I've been doing a lot of work. There's before I moved onto the property, a guy was coming onto the property before I owned it, so I couldn't say anything. And he was cutting down a lot of trees and leaving the limbs and everything just lay around and in some piles and stuff. So I've been going around cleaning all that up and piling it in a big pile in preparation to take my big dirt pile that all of you probably know I have. And I'm going to push that dirt pile down over the hill over this way and flatten it out. So it's not quite as much of a slope going down there. So I've been gathering up all the branches and dead trees laying around and stuff like that, so I can push the dirt down there and flatten it out and digging out some of the stumps. So I've been doing that. I also starting to work on get my water hooked up and get water to the cabin. I have to have water going to this cabin this winter. I'm not going to go through another winter without water coming to this cabin when I have the lines already in the ground and everything like that. So I've started the process of skirting the cabin. I'm going to be putting a foam board down and get that so it can hold some heat down there and the line won't freeze coming up through the ground. The water line, that is. So that's in the process. Let's get back to some of the comments. Michael from Not So Remote Alaska says, if you have a sawmill, you better be ready to work. That is true. Robert the Curmudgeon, right? Not So Remote Alaska. I need to get a blade sharpener for my blades. And then Our Cabin in the Woods says, every homestead needs a sawmill. That is true. Every homestead does need a sawmill. Renee says, the driveway looks great. Well, thank you very much. If you jump back a half dozen or a dozen videos from this spring, there was a section of my driveway that I actually had to put my truck in 4-wheel drive to get through. It was getting that muddy and stuff, so I needed to get it fixed. So I put down the road fabric, which is a woven synthetic cloth type stuff, and then I had 8 truckloads of just the pit run gravel. Pit run gravel is just whatever they dig out of the pit. They don't filter it out by size or wash it or anything like that. It's just whatever they dig out of the ground goes in the dump truck, and the dump truck brings it over and dumps it here. So I got 8 loads of pit run gravel. So I built up the driveway on top of the road fabric, probably a good 5 to 8 inches throughout the whole driveway. So it's good to go. I've had a couple really heavy trucks drive on it so far, and they had no issues. It's a solid driveway now. Let's see here. Flat Tire Farms is asking, Bill, are you getting chickens next summer? I'm definitely planning on it. That's my goal, is to get some animals on the homestead. It's not really a homestead if you don't have any animals on it. And that hopefully Michael from Not So Remote Alaska will be dropping off my lumber here pretty soon. I ordered some lumber from him to build a chicken coop, a nice size 8x8 chicken coop, and he says he pretty much has it all milled up, so just waiting on the delivery now. Yep, the chickens are gonna go everywhere and push that dirt around for me. That is right. I've decided I'm gonna rearrange the homestead a little bit, kind of over where the chicken coop and the pig pen was gonna go, and the rabbit hutches is now gonna be the garden area. And the reason for that is because that area gets a lot of sunlight, and it gets the first sun in the springtime, and very little of it is shaded during the summertime. So the garden's going to go in that area. And then over where I was going to put the garden is where the animals are going to go. And that's a wooded area. So it's it'll always be nice and shaded for the animals and things like that. And Reeve at Flat Tire Farm says, I need to get a blade sharpener also. Oh, Renice, well, thank you very much. Renice says, I plan on power watching your videos on Saturday, so hopefully I can be current. Well, thank you very much for that, and it's very appreciated that you would do that. JD from SC, hey, thanks for joining. Let's see here. Rob says, at Flat Tire Farms, Homesteading, Alaska, I'm going to make one for behind Sarah's side-by-side. Shh, don't tell her. Hopefully she's not watching then, Rob. And Rob says he means a scraper, not a sharpener. He misread that. And JD, yes, it's a 5-finger Death Punch shirt. I saw them a few years ago at Rockfest in Wisconsin, in Cadet, Wisconsin. Our cabin in the woods. Unfortunately, no, I have not sold the camper. I've had a lot of interest in it from time to time, and just nobody's decided to buy it yet. One of the downfalls is I'm up in Willow, which is like an hour north of Anchorage, and a lot of the people have been going to come out and look at it, things like that, and then they're like, oh, we found one in town or something like that, so they didn't have to travel an hour each way just to come and see it. And one couple was like going to buy it, and then the husband went and looked at some brand new ones, and they're like, we're going to buy a brand new one instead. So hey, what can I do? It's still for sale, so if anyone's interested in a nice camper, hit me up. And John in Alaska said he met Michael out shopping at Three Bears in Big Lake. That's pretty cool. And Renice is saying, I'm so glad you put links to different channels. Definitely wants to check them out. So that's why we do it. A lot of the channels here in Alaska that do go live, puts the links of other Alaskan channels that join in just for that purpose, to help promote them and do a little cross promotion and things like that. So let's see here. The other big news. Let's see here. What time is it? Should I talk about the other big news that's going on? Yeah, it's 5:43. I'll talk about it. The other big news is my shipping containers got put in their permanent homes. So I had 2 shipping containers just sitting out here kind of in the way. And the guy, actually Chase from Riser Contracting, who put on my roof yesterday morning when they showed up, he walked across the road because he's working on a cabin over there, and he has his big excavator over there. And so the first thing we did yesterday morning when they showed up was he brought his excavator over. He picked up one shipping container, set it on the blocks that I had made, and then went and got the other one, set it on the other one. Now, as he was setting the containers down and stuff, the blocks moved a little bit, so I got to actually pick up each end and readjust I guess it's not a block, it's a wooden beam. It's a 4x6 beam that is 8 feet long. So I got to jack up each end and adjust the beam a little bit underneath it. But when he set it down, I measured the distance between the back 2 corners and the front 2 corners, and the difference was 3/8 of an inch out of being perfect. So the front 2 corners was 3/8 of an inch wider than the back 2 corners, which is just totally amazing that we got it that perfect. But when I lift them up and adjust the beams underneath it, I'll adjust that. I'll fix that 3/8 of an inch so they're perfect. And then I have a 6-foot level, and I took the 6-foot level inside each connex and measured it 3 times this way and 3 times going this way. And it's dead on. It's as flat as you're going to get it. And a few of the times the bubble was touching a line, but it was never beyond the line, or even the line wasn't over top of any of the edge of the bubble. So to get it any better, you would have to pour a slab foundation, like a concrete foundation, and then have a crane truck to pick it up and just set it down on the slab foundation. That's the only way to get it any better. Let's see here. Hey, Scott with Rambling with the Brahms is here. Thank you for joining. You missed all the big news. You'll have to go back and watch the beginning 45 minutes to get all the big news there, Scott. And Michael says, yes, and it was really nice meeting you, John, referring to John in Alaska. And Rambling with the Brahms says, howdy, Rob. And there's Rambling with the Brahms YouTube link, so definitely check him out. And Our Cabin in the Woods says, Bill, relist your camper and tell everyone you're going to be an hour closer to town somewhere, some point. If you're interested, come and see it and drive it to them. I was thinking about it, and I might do that. Or if anyone's interested, then I can always take it to them. Let's see here. Oklahoma Grammy saying, hi, Scott. Rambling with the Brahms. I don't know what this comment's about and who it's directed to, but Scott's saying from Rambling with the Brahms, are you pregnant? I'm not pregnant, that's for sure. Johnny from Gillum Farms is saying, hi, Scott. John in Alaska says, hi, Michael. Same here. Rambling with the Brahms. Hey, brother Johnny. Hi, Tony from Johnny from Gillum Farms. And Rambling with the Brahms says, your big news. Yes. I've had 2 big things happen on my homestead here yesterday and today. So you're going to have to go back and watch the beginning of the video, the first 45 minutes, to find out all the big news. And the curmudgeon says, hey, Scott at Rambling with the Brahms. And Renee says, look forward to watching all your projects you have going on. Well, thank you. I need to get some dirt moved around and get the garden laid out. I don't think I'm going to get the garden ready to be planted next spring, but I should be able to have it ready for to start developing the garden area next spring. And unfortunately, it is what it is. Scott at Rambling with the Brahms says, my big news was I'm pregnant. No, that's not the big news. I'm not pregnant. My pronouns are he, and I'm a male. So, and I was born this way. So, no chances of me being pregnant. And at my age, not very many women at my age. Not very many women at my age can get pregnant either. So, and Rob at the curmudgeon, he normally goes live at, I think, 5 o'clock on Fridays, but this week he's not going live. He has too much going on, so he's going live at 4 p.m. on Monday. 4 p.m. Alaska time, which is 8. So make sure you check him out, and he has a link to the live right there. And Ashley says she's looking forward to the live. Our Cabin in the Woods says, hi, Johnny. And Renee says, how young are you? Well, I'm not going to put out my exact age, but I'm over 50. I'll say that. I'm closer to 100 years old than a newborn baby. So I've passed the 50-year-old mark. Oh, I got a question for everyone. Anyone uses a sun lamp or anything like that? I just bought one. I'm giving it a try. Ooh. See, it turns on. Has different settings. I just got it in the mail 2 days ago, I think it was. Maybe 3 days ago now. And I've been giving it a try, see what it's like. And part of the reason is I work East Coast hours, so I start work at 4 a.m. my time. And now we've passed that point where it's not daylight out all night long, so it's nice and dark until I think about 5:30 or 6 in the morning now. But I decided to give that a shot and see if it changes anything in me. Everything I've been told, people are real susceptible to not getting enough sunlight and stuff like that. So I thought I'd give that a shot. It only costs like $25 or something like that. So I thought I'd give it a shot. And Our Cabin in the Woods says, laugh out loud. Good, Bill. He is good. Let's see here. What else is going on? Oh, Michael, when you bring the lumber up, hopefully I can get over to my log pile to trade you some logs for the lumber. If not, I'll definitely work on getting you some this fall. I'll dig down through it a little bit and pick out some of the good ones, and if I have to, I'll bring them down to you. Let's see here. What else is going on? Oh, now that I got my 2 connexes set, once I adjust them a little bit and stuff, I can start emptying out my storage trailer and putting all my stuff in the connexes. The reason I got 2 connexes were 2 different reasons. One, now I can put all my garage and shop stuff in one and all my household goods in the other. That way it's separated out, and if I'm looking for something in a household goods, I can go in that connex and probably find it easier. Right now, in my storage trailer, everything is just commingled and stuff like that, and I got to dig down through stuff and different things like that. And the other reason is by having 2 of them, I can put a roof over top of them and have some storage between the 2 connexes that is under roof. And the connexes are set approximately 17 feet apart. So I got 17 feet between the 2 connexes. So the whole thing is, I think, 33 feet wide. From outside edge of connex to the other outside edge of the connex is 33 feet wide. And now, as soon as I adjust the connexes a little bit, then the big push is to get my storage trailer emptied out. I am going to put that up for sale, but I may already have a buyer for it. But I can't say because it's only a maybe. And then I'm putting up my 2-place snow machine trailer for sale. If anyone's interested in a 2-place snow machine trailer, it's in excellent shape. But I'm going to sell it because I've had it for probably 8 years now, and I've used it like 2 or 3 times. Yeah, I've literally used it like less than a handful of times, I bet. So it's just sitting here and collecting dust. So I might as well sell it and let someone else get some use out of it. I don't see a need for it in the foreseeable future in the next few years. Anytime I need to haul my snow machine, I just put it in the bed of my truck. Renee says, great idea on the connexes. So thank you very much. Gillum Farm says, I am building an electric fence around my increased size hay lot tomorrow. Yeah, you definitely need that. Michael agrees. That sounds good with what I plan on doing to get him some logs. Robert the curmudgeon says at Gillum Farms he needs a nice strong electrical fence to keep the silly bears away. Well, he says a nice strong fence. I threw in the electrical part. Yeah, Rob says he would love to get a few connexes up at his place, but the heli lift bill would be way too costly. And unfortunately, they're too bulky and heavy for a snow machine to drag them up there. Those snow machines can haul a lot, but that's pushing the limits. You'd have to have probably four wide track snow machines to get that thing drug up there in the wintertime. Rob, I'll send me a text asking me the price, and I'll reply back to it. That way I don't forget to let you know how much. Flat Tire Farms, hey, Bill, we should lift that roof up so the beast can pull in there. Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be nice to be able to put the beast in under roof all winter long. Maybe I could buy a steel building that is 33 feet wide, and I can put up over it, and then the garage door, the beast can just drive in the garage door, since the bottom of the steel building would be eight or so feet off the ground. Thanks, Rob. I see the text just came in. I'll reply back. I'll reply back to it as soon as we're done here. And hey, Brian from the Vineyard Farmhouse. Thanks for joining. Let's see here. Yeah, if you don't know Brian from the Vineyard Farmhouse, definitely check out his link. The Oklahoma Grammy just posted it. Hey, Annette Witt. Thanks for joining in tonight. And she's saying you will have to let everyone know if the sun lamps helps. Like I said, it's only been a few days. I don't know if they do or not, but I'll definitely let you know. Keep asking me each week if I think they're helping it or not. Let's see here. Where was I? Oklahoma Grammy saying hi to Brian. Rob saying hi to Brian. Our Cabin in the Woods is saying hi to Brian. Flat Tire Farm saying hi to Brian. Brian at the Vineyard Farmhouse is saying good evening to Sandra. And hey there, Cabin in the Woods. Renice is asking, how many solar panels do I have? I have 0 here at this property. At my remote property, I have 6 that is installed and working. I have, I think, 5 more up there. I would like to get at least another 3 installed. That way I would have 9 working up there, but I just haven't been up there that much to get anything done. This property is taking priority. And the solar panels I have up there, I bought used. I got such of a great deal on them, I couldn't pass them up. And they're only, I think, 56 watts per panel. So they're not very big, but I have very little usage, electrical usage up there. So, and I got a lot of batteries also. So the fairly large battery bank and little usage. So I can make it through the weekends when I'm up there. Let's see here. Okay. Michael at Not So Remote Alaska said he had to run. Someone's there picking up some lumber. So thanks for joining in, Michael. And I'll see you soon. Johnny from Gilliam Farms is saying, hey, Brian. Rob at the Curmudgeon saying, take care. Michael at Not So Remote Alaska. Same Flat Tire Farm saying, good night, Michael. Brian at the Vineyard Farms House saying, Johnny. Rob at the Curmudgeon. How big is the battery bank, Bill? My battery bank is 10 lead acid batteries. Let's see here. All the batteries were used, so they're not like brand new quality. But when you put a battery tester on, they're all somewhere in the green area saying they're still good. And I have it wired up as a 12-volt system. So between the 10 batteries I have hooked up, when I go up there, I have one LED light I use. I have my small refrigerator that uses next to no power. And then I may charging some camera gear and my cell phone that doesn't take anything. And then sometimes I watch some TV up there. So my TV will be on once in a while. That's about all the electricity I use up there on a weekend during the winter time. And as long as we get a day or so of sunny weather, it'll keep the batteries charged between the times I go up there. Our Cabin in the Woods says at Curmudgeon. Rob, sorry, I need to catch up on your videos. Just so busy. Yeah, Our Cabin in the Woods. I think he understands everyone's busy and falling behind on videos. Let's see here. And that's basically what Rob just said. John in Alaska says, good night, Michael. Annette, what? Okay, we'll do. Hey, Matt AK says, what's up, fam? Cutting down big trees today. Be careful, Matt. I'm sure you know how to do it, but accidents do happen, so just be extra careful. And cutting down trees is always fun. And then Oklahoma Grammy, they posted Matt's link, so thank you, Sandra. And make sure you check out Sandra's channel also. So, Sandra, make sure you post your own channel, please. Make sure you post your own channel a couple times. Bernice is saying, hey, Matt AK. Matt was at the meetup, and I think he had a really good time there. The Vineyard Farmhouse falling behind. I'll never catch up. I hear you on that one. Sometimes you just got to skip over some videos. Rob at the Curmudgeon says we only have 6 panels, but they are 315 waters. Yeah, that's your 3 panels is a lot more than mine. We can bump it up to 55 amps an hour with good light. Yeah, like I said, it's only a weekend thing, and when I'm there, I'm not just sitting inside doing computer work and watching TVs and running coffee makers and stuff like that. So I don't need very much electricity when I'm up there, and everything I bought was used, and I got such of a good deal on everything. I couldn't pass it up. I got all the solar panels. I got 9 batteries originally. I got all kinds of wires. I got a charge controller. I got the controller that you can charge your batteries using a generator. And I got a wind turbine that I haven't put up yet. I got all that for like $200, and the wind turbine alone is like $4,000 or $5,000 wind turbine. So I couldn't pass it up. Unfortunately, a couple of those original 9 batteries, 2 or 3 of them were very bad, so I'm not using them. But I ended up getting a few replacement batteries from the Forks Roadhouse. They switched over to some brand new batteries they bought, so they had a whole bunch of batteries. Just ironically, were the exact same batteries that I had in my system. So I went down and I got I think 4 or 5 batteries off them, and now I have a 10 battery bank system. Everyone's saying hi to each other. Renice is asking, John in Alaska, love your new cabin and the remodeling. I think we all like John's new cabin. Our cabin in the woods. Bill, you're on the grid there at your home. Yes, at this place right here, yes, I'm on the grid. It cost me an arm and a leg to get electric like 500 feet onto my property. Cost me something like $15,000 to get it onto my property. And then from the power pole out by the road back to my build site, that cost me another $3,000 just for the wire. The wire had to be specially shipped up from Seattle because of the size. The run, most of you probably know, but for those that don't know, the longer the run of the wire, you need a thicker wire because the longer the run, the amperage will drop over a certain span. And from the power pole where my meter base is back to where I want it to come into my permanent build is somewhere in the 370 foot range. So I had my electrician kind of figure it out, and he said buy this certain gauge and stuff. And I mean, the wire is like that big around. It's like an inch and a half, 2 inches thick, and it's a 3-strand aluminum wire, and each strand is I think over a 1/2 inch thick. Let's see here. Where was that comment? Okay, there it is. Rob at the curmudgeon says our freezer uses the most power. Fridge is second. TV gets an hour or 2 use at night. Right, I can see that. Matt saying hi to Mr. John and Mr. Reeve. Is this Crystal now on Flat Tire Farms? Since Flat Tire Farms Homestead in Alaska is saying, hey, Mr. Reeve. Did Crystal kick Reeve off that one, or what's going on here? You guys playing games with me. Rennie says, so what do you do with old electronics? Unfortunately, old electronics is so outdated, they pretty much go in the trash. I know there's some places that will take them and then they take the individual components apart and resell them and stuff like that. But for the most part, they get thrown in the trash, unfortunately. Rob at the curmudgeon has lithium batteries. I would like to, but I got the lead acid. And the nice thing about the lead acid is I don't have to worry about the wintertime cold. They're good. If they're charged up, they're good down to well below any temperatures we get up in Petersville. So, Johnny at Gillum Farms is asking, how are my watch hours on my YouTube channel? For those that don't know, to get monetized, you need, what do you need? 4,000 watch hours in the last 365 days. I'm on par to get that by the end of the year, so it's coming along. It was a little bit slow there for a few minutes, but it picked back up on my last couple videos I posted. Well, since I posted my driveway fixing video, and then the couple after that, it's really picked up. So I definitely should hit the 3,000 watch hours or 4,000 watch hours by the end of the year. And Flat Tire Farm says we have two 315 amp hour lithium Onyx batteries. We can take the charge all the way down to 10%. Right. Unfortunately, my lead acid batteries, I can only go down to, well, my charge controller shuts it off at like 70% or something like that. So, or 60%, or I forget exactly what it is. But it's a safety feature, so I'm not too worried about it. And Robert the curmudgeon says at Flat Tire Farms, we have two EG4LL 200 amp hour 24 volt batteries. I have never had them drop below 25%. That's pretty good. Hey, Mr. Reeve is back as himself instead of Flat Tire Farms. Crystal booted you off of it, huh? She is mean. Reeve say, bossing me around all the time. Yep. Our cabin in the woods says to send power to my house at 300 feet, it costs $750 underground 200 amp service. Yeah. I wish that's the way it was up here. Flat Tire Farms, we're both in two different places. I hear you. Yeah, I know, Rob, but as long as they stay charged up, it's very unlikely that they would freeze. And since I have my solar panels up and stuff like that, it's very unlikely my batteries would ever drop low enough for them to freeze. And John in Alaska says, Bill, I use 3 lithium batteries that run everything and 4 350 watt panels. That's good to know. And Renice says, hope I can help with the watch hours on Saturday. Well, thank you very much. It's very much appreciated. And Matt AK says, was working on the thumbnail for first drive up video last night. Haven't started on the video itself yet, though. I usually do it backwards. And I've just started doing thumbnails, so. And I usually do mine backwards. I do the video, then I create the thumbnail. Thanks, Johnny at Galen Farms. Ashley Anderson says, Matt, looking forward to seeing the video. I think we all are. It's always the driving up from the lower 48 to Alaska is always good videos. And Johnny at Gilm Farm says, thumbnails make a difference. Yes, they do. I truly believe that. And I've studied up on it recently on some of the do's and don'ts. So I'm trying to incorporate the do's into my thumbnails. And Crystal at Flat Tire Farms, I'll show you, mean. I don't want to see you mean, Crystal. Let's stay on friendly terms. You can be mean to Reeve once in a while, but don't be too mean to him. Rob, I use... let me see if I can pull it up here. I use Thumbnail Maker for YouTube videos. It's a free download. I just downloaded it. It was pretty easy to do. You can add words and different things onto pictures. And it has a setting to, when you go to save it, to make it the right size and everything to fit YouTube thumbnails. And Matt AK says, sadly, I didn't get any of the dash cam footage from the first 2 days of the drive up here, so there's just some GoPro footage. That's okay. I'm sure we'll all enjoy it. Gillen Farms, I'm convinced the thumbnail made my video get a lot of views. That's what I've heard from researching thumbnails. A good thumbnail will drastically increase the click-through rate, which is when you go to your homepage and you see 30 YouTube videos, whichever ones you click on, that increases the click view rate for that YouTube channel. And people's going to click on it if they see a thumbnail that interests them. Hey, 12 Stones Ranch, thanks for joining tonight. Make sure you check out 12 Stones Ranch. Oklahoma Grammy already posted the link to them. Annette Witt says, does it help if someone watches a video twice? I believe it does. I don't think it does if you watch it like back to back. But if you watch it like once today and then watch it again tomorrow, it does. But I've also heard there's a limit to how many you can watch, how many times a channel can watch a video before it's no longer counted. And I'm sure a time frame comes into play also. But I'm not really sure. But I know if you watch a video today and then watch it again a couple weeks from now, it's going to count, I'm sure. And Ashley Anderson says, I hate losing fingernails. Did you just lose a fingernail, Ashley? Let's see here. Matt AK says, I have dash cam from the other 3 days, though. That's cool. Can't wait to see the dash cam footage. And Brian is back. I guess he stepped away for a little while. He says, hey there. Our cabin in the woods. Johnny, I am very computer dumb, so dumb knows I'm lost. My kids laugh at me all the time. Don't worry about it. A lot of people have a hard time with computers. And like I said, there's 12 Stones Ranch's link from Oklahoma Grammy. Flat Tire Farm says, Annette, yes, it does. Curmudge, does it work on Mac? I don't know. I'm sure there's probably a Mac version. I guess just go and look it up on whatever program you use to download programs and see if there's a Mac version. Renee says, I'm just so amazed how people in Alaska are so talented with everything. Well, we got to be talented, especially in the outdoor stuff, because that's what it takes to survive up here. And if you're not going to survive very long. Brian at the Vineyard Farmhouse is saying hi to 12 Stones Ranch. John in Alaska says hi to Crystal at Flat Tire Farms. Oklahoma Grammy saying hi, Brian. Flat Tire Farm says Canada has a free version, but the paid version is totally worth it. 12 Stones is saying hi to Sandra and Brian. Matt AK says to Flat Tire Farms, the Canva paid version has been very nice. The editor app for Windows also works way better for me than just using the website did. I've heard good things about Canva, but I just decided not to use it. That's all. I'm going through the other programs. Oh, and Flat Tire Farms meant to say Canva, not Canada. It probably auto-corrected on you, huh? Kermudge says, hello, 12 Stones. 12 Stones says, hey, Kermudge. Gillum Farms, yes, Canva is great. Also, it's amazing how many skeeters show up when you fell a big rotten birch tree. Yep, you're disturbing the ground and it pushes them up out of the ground. It's crazy. It's definitely better than the yellow jackets, that's for sure, Reeve. I'll take mosquitoes over a bunch of yellow jackets any day. And Matt AK says, where's Adam from Alaska Cut the Cord? I need him to tell me which steel saw to buy. Yeah, he's not here tonight. He probably didn't see it since I scheduled this at the last minute. I only scheduled it at, I don't know, 3:30, 4 o'clock today, so he probably didn't realize it was happening. Brian at the Vineyard Farmhouse says, or use Canvas. I'm not sure. I think you got something messed up there. Reeve says, Matt, I got a MS251 and a MS211. Love them both. I have a 211, but the God, what is it? The valve on the carburetor is not moving on mine, so it's dying from lack of air. So I got to get that fixed. Ooh, Reeve said he got whacked by a yellow jacket under his arm yesterday. That's not good. Okay, our cabin in the woods. Thanks for joining in for a while. Good night. Our cabin in the woods is gonna go and do some editing. Johnny Gillum says a 261 is a beast commercial grade that is still small enough to use, and he's referring to a Steel 261. Rob at the Curmudgeon says he loves his Farm Boss 271. Oklahoma Grammy saying good night to Tony at our cabin in the woods. Gillum Farm says good night, Tony. Our cabin in the woods is Gillum Farms. Johnny, you too. Rob at Curmudgeon says good night, Tony. Matt AK says we have a 261 here actually, but it won't start. Reeve says, Rob, how is the weight of a 271? And Rob at the Curmudgeon says, Matt AK, check the plug if the plug, check the plug. So make sure that's good. I've had to change mine a couple times. And Renice says, thank you, Bill, for answering all my questions. Have a good evening. Well, have a good evening, Reese. Yeah, I think I'm going to wrap this up pretty soon. It's an hour and 23 minutes already I've been on here, roughly. So I think I'm going to stop it at an hour and a half. I got a few things I want to do outside if I can get them done. And Renice, I hope to see you next week. I usually go live every week, and I try to release 2 videos each week on Wednesday and on Sunday morning. Sometimes I miss the Wednesday video release, though, if I'm just too busy or got things going on or stuff like that. And Flat Tire Farm says, Reeve, we don't care how much the saw weighs, we care how much it costs. And Reeve says, good night, Renice. Gallon Farm says, I have a 271. It's fine as a homeowner type saw. It's not too bad on the weight, but I use my MS250 more. Let's see here. Matty K says, so we had to use a tiny Ryobi battery saw to fell that big birch tree in front of the cabin. It just barely got the job done with 2 batteries. Yeah, those things aren't made for cutting down big trees. Robert the curmudgeon says, I need to make dinner as well, then take the plow off the side-by-side. Well, it's getting about that time of the year. You need to put the plow on the side-by-side. Reeve says, Johnny, why do you like the 250 more than the 271? Renee says, good night, Reeve. And John in Alaska says, good night, Bill. Gilm Farms, Johnny says, the weight mostly to Reeve. Robert the curmudgeon says, shut up, Bill. Referring to my snow reference with the plow. Everybody wants the snow to hold off until it gets here. Then everyone likes having the snow here. But and Rob says, I need a lightweight saw to do limbing. I like my 211. If it wasn't for the carburetor valve issue on it. I love my 211. It's a nice little lightweight saw to limb things up and to fell like small little trees that's maybe a few inches in diameter, stuff like that. So I really like my 211 for that type of stuff. John, not Johnny from Gillen Farms, but Rob's friend John said he's going to try to send him up a 211T. And Reeve says, snow is bad. Okay. And Crystal says, night, Rob. Annette Witt says, good night, all. Rob says, night at Flat Tire Farms. Night, Annette. From Crystal at Flat Tire Farms. Reeve says, night, Rob. The Oklahoma Grammy, Sandra says, I love the snow. I love snow, too. But I also wish we had a longer winter or a longer summertime here. Summer's just now getting nice where you can do stuff, and the snow's coming, unfortunately. And Rob, yeah. Rob loves the snow, but needs to get a lot more done before it flies, unfortunately. Well, I think I'm going to end this live. So thanks, everyone. Sorry I couldn't be outside walking around and showing you everything, showing you the new roof on the cabin and the shipping containers and stuff like that. I don't know why my phone wasn't updating with the little calendar thing that pops up on YouTube when you have a live scheduled. It just wasn't working for me tonight. That's why I was a few minutes late joining in. I was trying to get that to work, and then I had to switch over to this. So, well, thanks everyone for joining in. Thanks to all the new people if you're still here, and thanks to all my longtime subscribers for joining in. So, thanks everyone, and have a good night.